whole parenting style that has people so upset, that like they are trying to teach their kids to have complete self-governance and that they shouldn't be dependent on anyone. And I guess that's their philosophy, and I guess that's where people take issue, right? In my house, we wouldn't do that, but if that's what they do in their house and they believe it's what's working and it's teaching their kids to be independent, as long as it's being done in a manner in which it's respectful and the child is taken care of, it's just their parenting style. And I'm definitely not the kind of person that will slam someone's parenting style. Would I do the same thing in my house? No, but that's their choice.
Hi beautiful people, welcome back. Hope everybody is doing fantastic wherever you are in this world. Happy Friday. I cannot believe we are at another Friday again. Wonderful though. I do have an update for you guys in regard to Without a Crystal Ball, self-proclaimed journalist, was actually now, in my opinion, playing the victim card, backtracking, and who now is the story. So let's get into this, but before that, my usual disclaimer: please do not take what I say as fact. Feel free to do your own research and come to your own conclusion. May I add a huge thank you to Balls 2.0 on Instagram for all that she does to help us out and allowing us to use her screenshots and having the quickness to always catch all, and I mean all, Katie Joy's posts, and also Llama Girl on Twitter for the same thing, catching those Instagram lives and posting them. And with her, you guys, her time zone is opposite to ours, and she stays awake and posts those lives to her Twitter, so we are able to keep up with Katie Joy shenanigans. I will leave their handles in the description. Please show them some love. I know I have Llama Girls Buy Me a Coffee, which is permanently in my description. I'm going to do the same with their handles, and it'll always be there if you need to go and show them some love or would like to follow them. I did make a video 2 days ago where Katie Joy posted a clip of Lydia Bates talking about being a first-time mum, and as per usual, Without a Crystal Ball took everything, twisted it to suit her own storyline. I will actually link that video in the description box so you guys can actually check out exactly what I'm talking about. This is the post that she made that caused all this, what we're going to go into. You guys can pause and read it in its entirety. There is no place in this post that she states all this is her opinion. Yet to me, she comes across as confident and states with conviction. And as you can see at the end of the post, she says, and I quote, "This is 100% neglectful and the baby will end up underweight." An article was written by today.com exposing the reckless reporting, in my opinion, from Without a Crystal Ball. The article was written by Rachel Paula Abramson. The full article will be listed in the description so you can read it in its entirety. Bringing Up Bates star defends wife shamed for underfeeding newborn. He's a very healthy baby. Lydia Romaker, the wife of Bringing Up Bates alum Trace Bates, was ashamed for underfeeding her newborn son Riker after she shared his eating schedule on social media. He has basically gained a pound in the past week, so he is not good on all his weight. Romaker, I apologize if I'm pronouncing that surname wrong, 25, said in an Instagram story that has since expired, he's eating a ton and we finally let him sleep through the night, which we are very excited about. Romaika, who gave birth on September 12th, said she was advised by a doctor to feed Riker every 2.5 hours after he lost an, in quotes, good amount of his birth weight, according to the American Pregnancy Association. It is normal for breastfed newborn to lose up to 10% of their birth weight. Riker weighed 6 pounds 8 ounces at birth. He is currently 7 pounds 6 ounces. When Riker was eating every 2.5 hours, Romaika said she and her husband Trace, 26, enlisted the help of family to help with nights so that we can at least get a little bit of rest, she said, adding that feeding every 2.5 hours basically drains you. Romaika did not elaborate on how many night feeds her relatives help with. Though Romaika's Instagram story is no longer visible, reality TV blogger Katie Joy Paulson saved the clip. Thank you so much, Miss Rachel, for getting that part right, and posted it on her account Without a Crystal Ball. In her YouTube bio, Paulson describes herself as being known for her coverage of the fundamentalist Christians. The Bates, like the Duggars from TLC's 19 Kids and Counting, are fundamental Baptist Christians. Some people should not be parents. Feeding your child is literally the bare minimum, Paulson wrote in a lengthy and scathing post. In a caption, she also claims that breastfed newborns and infants up to 4 months need to eat every 2 to 3 hours. For those claiming this as mum shaming, please exit left, Paulson continued. This is 100% neglectful and the baby will end up underweight. Have you looked at yourself in the mirror and your actions, Katie Joy? I don't think so. Romika did not respond to the request for comment, but Trace contacted today.com on Instagram. We are doing exactly what the pediatrician told us to do, Trace wrote in a direct message. He has gained a ton of weight and they say he's a very healthy baby. Dr. Jay Lovenheim, a pediatrician in West Orange, New Jersey, tells Today.com that Romika has done nothing wrong. I tell parents to feed the baby every 2 to 3 hours in the daytime and every 3 to 4 hours at night for the first 2 weeks, Lovenheim says, and then after that, if the baby gets back to their birth weight and is sleeping at night, we let them sleep. Romika and Bates shouldn't get too excited though. Once a baby gets back to their birth weight, they have more energy and starting waking up more to tell you, hey, I'm hungry, Lovenheim explains. Obviously, Katie Joy got wind of this article and has not stopped posting. She is absolutely unhinged in my opinion. She is going ballistic, trying to cover up her tracks, trying to justify her vindictiveness, trying to justify her bullying of this new young mother. And she posted, looks like Trace Bates can't handle an opinion. It seems as though real journalists are actually sick and tired of your bullshit ways, comparing yourself and putting yourself in the same category as them when you truly are not. And they're sick and tired of your bullshit, and it's about time they started calling your bullshit out. A few days ago, I shared a video of Lydia Bates lamenting about how hard it is to feed a child every 2.5 hours. The child was born very small, jaundice, and has had several health issues since birth. Most recently, they had to take the child to the ER for drops in breathing and O2. My opinion is that mothers of babies with jaundice need to be extremely focused on regular feeding their babies and should be keeping their health a priority. Maybe you should take your own advice, Katie Joy. Lydia's Instagram story was of the time that basic caring for a child was too exhausting, as though she was ill prepared for motherhood. Who is, and especially as a first-time mother, who is prepared for motherhood? I wasn't. Absolutely wasn't. So, Katie Joy, I suggest you refrain from actually commenting on situations like this when you yourself is a shitty parent. Lydia and Trace are Christian fundamentalists raided in a cult. She must have meant raised in a cult. Trace's father, Gil Bates, sits on the board of an insidious sex cult called the Institute of Basic Life Principles. Lydia and Trace were raised in a world where children are to be seen and not heard. Fundamentalist women give out books urging new moms to get on a sleep schedule and encouraged not to let the baby dictate their lives. Lydia and Trace, from the start of all this, have been sharing their story all over social media. Lydia and the family are also facing deportation and have weeks to leave the USA to go back to Germany. Why are you gloating in this, Katie Joy? Because you guys, I want you to pay attention and listen to me very clearly. In this situation, in regard to them being deported, I feel so sorry for these kids. I feel so bad for these kids because they did not ask to be put in this situation. I put this all on the parents. For the mere fact is that they put their kids in this position. Lydia and Trace are going through the system in which they need to get Lydia to be legal in this country. She did no wrong. Her parents put in the situation. End of story. So I want you to think about this, whoever's listening to this. If you were in Lydia's position, okay, she was brought to this country. I think she could have been about 8 years old, between 8 and 10 years old. She has established herself in this country. She's grown up in this country. She knows, I don't think she has any inkling of what is in Germany. She's married, she has a child. With immigration, they don't care about your family. So she has to make a decision whether she leaves her child here and she goes back to Germany, or she takes a child with her, and will the Bates or the father of the child actually allow that, or will Trace actually move back to Germany with her? This is nothing to be thrown in anybody's face. These are hard, life-changing decisions, and she did not bring this upon herself. That's just my 2 cents on that. Neither Lydia nor her family were persecuted in Germany. They were not granted asylum for a reason and stayed in the US despite knowing that they were not residents and would not ever become residents. You, Katie Joy, do not know if that is the facts. You assuming. Stop. They are playing the media again as victims of persecution of a fully developed and thriving government called Germany. Somehow my post sharing my opinion about Lydia's public statements that were extremely concerning and her concerning choices in the last several weeks are of interest to the media. That itself is bullshit. Stop moving the goalpost. What was so concerning? How she's explaining what it's like to be a first-time mother. Given that I am a massively outspoken critic of the IBLP and have reported damaging details about Gil Bates and the IBLP this week, I don't feel it's a coincidence that media outlets are now coming for me over my opinions about Trace and Lydia. Trace and Lydia are public figures and criticism and opinions are allowed. I stand by my opinions about the cults they are connected to, which is the IBLP. So why did you delete the post, Katie Joy? Why? If you stand by what you say, why delete the post? It's beyond obvious what the IBLP is doing. First of all, Katie Joy, the IBLP is going about their business. You have been reporting on these groups for what, 3-4 years, and people have always wondered, but how has none of these people served you with a cease and desist or even sued you? Well, it has been revealed that because of their faith and their beliefs, they will not bring any hardships onto others, and Katie Joy takes full advantage of this. This young lady is a proud mom. She took to social media to share her joy of becoming a mom. That is all that is. Being a first-time mom is no rainbows and unicorns, and Katie Joy herself, being a mom, should actually be relating to her. But unfortunately, she totally took her experience and twisted it because this is what makes Katie Joy money. It keeps the roof over the head of her and her family. This is what puts food on their table. This is how Katie Joy makes her living. She gives a fuck about them, period. Lydia and her siblings facing deportation is nothing to be happy about or gloat about. Miss me with the whole this is my opinion bullshit. You, Katie Joy, should have known from all the previous experiences you have encountered where you have defamed people, which led to lawsuits that you have faced and have not won not one of them, but settled most of them. All you are trying to do is cover your ass at this point. You are the furthest from a massively outspoken critic of the IBLP. Once again, you use these people in the IBLP, as I said, just to keep a roof over your head. Their well-being you do not give a shit about. You damn right. This is no coincidence, and don't give Gil Bates more credit than he deserves, because this to me gives me so much more faith in humanity, because there are still very reputable, ethical, real journalists out there that are willing to call out wannabes like Katie Joy and stand for what's right. And as you in the past have bragged about how all these huge publications follow you, and thank God that finally one of them, or now two of them, have decided to call you out and expose your bullshit and how vile, vindictive and reckless you are in your reporting. I prefer to look at it from that perspective, because this young lady, fundamentalist or not, does not deserve the bullying you and your followers imposed on her. And the reason is that, like I said in my previous video, I wouldn't be surprised if Katie Joy herself or even her followers called CPS. Well, here is the proof. Her followers, or one of her followers, absolutely called CPS. This person says, where's CPS when you need them? Oh, don't fret, young lady. Another one of Katie Joy's followers actually has that covered. This is from Without a Crystal Ball's Facebook under her comments, where this idiot confirms and admits to calling CPS. I called Tennessee CPS on Lydia and Trace. I gave them IG information, ages, and a general location for both Trace and Lydia, and for the Bates family. They took the reports, and not even an hour later I got an email saying that they couldn't be found. In that short amount of time, it looks like they didn't even try to find them. They have names, ages, IG information, and general location. I would think it would be fairly easy to find them. That is fucked up. Shame on you, lady. Shame on you. Wouldn't you think from the response that this woman got from CPS that they were bombarded with complaints about this family? That's why she got such a quick response from CPS. Now, Katie Joy didn't leave that comment up. I myself personally would have left that comment up and made an example of that person if Katie Joy herself was so upstanding and such a good person to say, don't go real life on people. But unfortunately, she's not that type. But me, myself, as I said, I would have left that comment up, made an example of this person and told her exactly how fucked up that was. But no, Katie Joy just went and deleted the comment. Buckle up, people, because I will be revealing more fucked up shit and how fucked up Katie Joy herself is. Again, let me remind you, I kept on saying how she stands by her opinion. So why did you delete your opinion, Katie Joy? Why? I'll be waiting for the answer, but I will not be holding my breath. In her next post, she actually compares Ruby Frankie with this young couple, where she states, when you see something, say something. Before I get into this post, let me show you something. Katie Joy, lead by example. From the research that I did, all this abuse allegedly was going down with Ruby Frankie in plain sight. And those that had backbones and truly cared about these kids and their well-being, unlike Katie Joy, continued to call out Ruby Frankie, even when they were served with cease and desist. Whereas Katie Joy folded, and that cease and desist from Ruby Frankie was the only cease and desist she took seriously. Let me show you how this woman apologizes to Ruby Frankie and family if people or her audience did go real life, and how glad she was that Ruby Frankie and her husband came out, had an interview, and set the record straight. Brace yourself.
And I always tell my subscribers, don't call, don't go real life. Like, you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. We can have a discussion about what's happening, but let's not try to like get into these people's real lives. And you know, I would apologize if any of my subscribers did it. I did not hear from any of my subscribers, in fact, that this happened or that they made calls like this. So I don't know. So I will say this, I'm glad they shared their side of the story. I'm glad that they are presenting things for them the way in which, you know, it's helpful, and they feel like their longtime viewers will know who they are and agree with them, and that's wonderful. I'm glad for them.
She says, dear media outlets, try to make my opinions into a story victimizing Lydia and Trace Bates. Let's talk. Number one, less than a month ago, my community on YouTube witnessed one of the most horrific crimes ever against children. A mother that vlogged for years was arrested for starving, chaining her kids to floors, duct taping them, beating them, and they only survived because one escaped. Number two, myself and others tried to report about Ruby Frankie's abuse for years, and everyone ignored us or threatened us. Number three, we learned that children exploited by families on social media are at risk of abuse and neglect. Number four, Trace and Lydia Bates grew up in a cult. Trace's dad is the leader of the IBLP. The same cult in Shiny Happy People, Duggar Family Secrets. The cult is abusive, damaging, and women and children are facing physical and sexual abuse at astronomical levels in the cult. Number five, the cult they are raised in promotes vicious abuse of children through blanket training and whipping kids into obedience. Number six, marriages are arranged and many times women are raped by their husbands in the cult. Number seven, babies are a requirement and many mothers and fathers are poorly educated due to improper homeschool curriculum through the cult. Babies are at risk of abuse due to the cult's belief that it's never too early to use a rod on a child. Number eight, my community isn't going to silently watch cults upload monetized family vlogging content and not comment on concerning issues. Number nine, women and children are at risk in the IBLP. Trace's dad has a vested interest to stop my reporting of the cult by smearing my name. Number 10, shaming is not shaming while abuse and neglect are frequent in this cult. 11, we do not want another Ruby Frankie to happen in our community. 12, I'm not the story. 13, Trace Bates participated in the insurrection rally and was never arrested. His wife is not a citizen and facing deportation. Wow. 13, stop glamorizing the Bates family. They are just like the Duggars, and their cult is a danger to society. These are my opinions. They espouse their opinions all over social media networks. They aren't victims. Katie Joy, boo-boo. This now sounds like your opinion because you are stating it's your opinion. But also it seems as though you're looking for allies, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem as though anybody is going to come to your defense. So to me, it sounds and looks like you all on your own, boo. So clearly, sorry to burst your bubble, you are the story. This is not me not being mean at all. It's just pointing out because Katie Joy herself said that she is on an island by herself. So what community do you belong to, Katie Joy? People that actually cover these religious sects or creators on YouTube that cover these people have even made it known that you are not one to be trusted and do not approve of the way you report or cover these fundamentalists.
It's important to not just start watching someone who's a popular YouTuber who pulls this and is like, hey, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Generally not helpful.
Yeah, especially people were talking about, because we had shared a Fox 13 news article, which is a Utah news outlet, right? And we were commenting when we made the video the other day how, oh, it sounds like they're having a tough time. And one of their sources was Without a Crystal Ball. Now, I'm not going to make any sort of assumptions or anything. I don't watch Without a Crystal Ball, but that person is known for stirring up drama and making up things. So probably not a great person to go to for a lot of these situations.
And you have been barred from a lot of Reddit pages like the Duggars, Sister Wives, and even Ruby Frankie. Stick to the point, Katie Joy. You are being called out for the mum shaming and bullying that you imposed on Lydia. What has who she is married to or related to have to do with you bullying her? Or are you trying to say that the reason you did this is because of who she is married to or related to? Stop moving the goalpost once again. Doesn't help your cause, boo. You speak about how the cults they are raised in promote vicious abuse of children, yet to date, you still have done nothing, absolutely zero, to make a difference to any of them. This is something that always sticks in my brain. The post she made about Anna Duggar, which dates, Anna Duggar, please wake the fuck up. Stop ignoring the red flags. Be a mum and get the fuck out of the Duggar shed and run. And also, when she sat on an Instagram live and put the seed in people's brain how she knows that another brother in the Duggar family is the same as Josh, and let people guess who she is talking about. That is how fucked up, manipulative, and vindictive Katie Joy Without a Crystal Ball is. The Daily Mail reported, bringing up Bates star Trace and his wife Lydia are accused of neglect after opening up about their newborn son's weight struggles, prompting critics to slam them for underfeeding their baby. Trace and Lydia welcomed their first child, Riker, on September 12th. His weight dropped to under 7 pounds and they were told to increase his feeds. But the couple were accused of being neglectful by blogger Katie Joy. Can we have a round of applause for another outlet that actually got it right? If struggling with the newborn wasn't difficult enough, bringing up Bates, where Trace Bates and his wife Lydia Romaker are now having to endure bitter online backlash after being accused of underfeeding their newborn son. The uproar began when Lydia, 25, took to Instagram to celebrate the fact that her son, Riker Cruz Bates, beautiful name, gained 1 pound after she was told by doctors at his first checkup appointment that he'd lost a good amount of weight. According to Lydia, she and Travis, 26, were advised by their pediatrician to feed their son, who was born on September 12th, every 2 to 3 hours around the clock in order to get his weight. He had dropped to less than 7 pounds. Back up. Having followed this feeding schedule for a short while, Lydia said her son's weight rapidly improved, prompting her to drop the night feeds so that they could all sleep through until morning. However, her admission sparked uproar from one lifestyle blogger who accused the couple of being neglectful and of underfeeding Riker, while slamming their decision to stop the 24-hour feeding cycle that doctors had recommended. Lydia detailed how her firstborn, who was now 7 pounds 6 ounces, had lost weight, prompting their family to step in to help feed him at night so she could rest. Speaking on Instagram stories, she said, "Yeah, so we came home from the hospital and then went to his first pediatrician appointment, found out that he had lost a good amount of weight, which I know is normal. But since he was already pretty small, so anything under 7 pounds I guess is considered small and preemie. We ended up having to go back every week and we have to feed him every 2.5 ounces 24/7. So there has been a lot. So we've had a lot of family come over and help, especially at night, so that we can at least get a little bit of rest, since 2.5 hours basically drains you." She continued, "So today we went back and he was weighing 7 pounds and 6 ounces and he has basically gained a pound in the past week. So he is now good on all his weight, which is amazing. He is eating a ton and now we can finally let him sleep through the night and not have to wake him, which we're very excited about." The video caught attention of Without a Crystal Ball blogger Katie Joy, who accused Lydia and Trace of underfeeding Riker. Trace and Lydia Bates have been underfeeding their newborn so badly that he lost a ton of weight. She took him to the pediatrician and they told Lydia to feed Riker every 2.5 hours, she wrote in a since deleted post on Instagram. He was born on September 12, 2023. Lydia complained that waking up at night and having to feed the baby 2.5 hours is really hard, so they need family to help. He gained a pound in a week, so now Lydia is going to again stop feeding him overnight. Newborns and infants up to 4 months, especially those that are breastfed, need to eat every 2.5 hours. She appeared to lambast them for allegedly taking advice from fundy circles who she claims follow a book called Baby Wise, which pushes feeding and sleep schedules that are not practical or safe for infants. She continued, "This has led severe failure to thriving babies. Infants do not have a big enough stomach to hold enough food to sleep overnight at 2 weeks old." Lydia is facing deportation and is openly discussing neglecting her child. Some people should not be parents. Feeding your child is literally the bare minimum. Riker was born with jaundice and she has been taking him out publicly. He's already been sick and needed to go to the ER. For those claiming that this is mum shaming, please exit left. This is 100% neglectful and the baby will end up underweight. The American Pregnancy Association reports some weight loss is expected in newborns in their first week of life. Responding to the accusation, Lydia's husband Trace told Today that they were following doctor's orders and have been told your child is very healthy. "We are doing exactly what the pediatrician told us to do," he said. "He has gained a ton of weight and they say he's a very healthy baby." Pediatrician Dr. J. Levenheim told Today that Lydia has been feeding her child correctly. "I tell parents to feed baby every 2 to 3 hours in the daytime and every 3 to 4 hours at night for the first 2 weeks, she said. This is as much as I'm going to read into this article, and like I stated prior, that the full article will be listed in my description box, so please feel free to go read the article in its entirety. That's what the Daily Mail had posted. Then we go back to Katie Joy, and at this point now she is like scrambling to justify her vindictiveness, which is not and has not been helping, because she goes ahead and she makes these posts. As you can see, she posts insurrectionist Trace Bates, January 6, 2021. She says, "Trace Bates is an insurrectionist. Pass it on to the media trying to make him the victim." How long do you think it's going to take before Katie Joy starts playing the victim herself? Then she goes on and she says, "The Daily Mail shills for cults and alt-right extremists. Pass it on." To which she puts a screenshot up of Christine Rendon. "Hi Katie, hope all is well. I'm reaching out in regards to the post you shared about Trace Bates and Lydia Romaika underfeeding their child. We noticed the video has been taken down. Would you be able to provide any comments on this or the post? Thanks, Christine Rendon, dailymail.com showbiz reporter." To which she says, "Dear Daily Mail, your reporter got blocked for trying to make a cult leader's son a victim. But he is the victim because you falsely accused them of child neglect." How is she defending a cult leader's son? She's just trying to get to the story, which a true reporter does, unlike you, the wannabe Katie Joy. This just proves how fucked up, selfish, childish, and a fraud you are. Katie Joy truly needs to take time out, go on an hiatus, or do some sort of self-reflection. She needs to learn how to humble herself, because most of the time other people are not our distractions. Katie Joy, you are your own distraction. I am sure it makes you feel better to blame someone else. Just take accountability. Hold yourself accountable just one time and see how it feels and how far it gets you. Katie Joy is definitely unhinged. She has been posting relentlessly about this Trace Bates, about the Bates family. And like I say, you can actually pause and read, because I'm not going to go through and read all these posts. In this post, she says Trace Bates calls her reporting fake news and slanderous. Next post, she says here is Trace Bates' video from January 6, 2021 insurrection rally. She goes on and posts, Gil Bates warns children in the IBLP to steer clear of worldly dirty girls. Which, if you can remember correctly, and maybe I'll even refresh your memory, where Katie Joy is proud in one of her streams to say that she's a dirty girl. You can't make this shit up. And then she posts again about the Bates family to say that the Bates family is in the IBLB sex cults. This is absolutely disgusting. Again, she posts about the Bates and said the Bates family is notoriously anti-immigration and has aligned themselves with the anti-government political operatives like David Barton and Rick Green for years. A judge ordered the Ramaika's removal. Once again, Katie Joy, fuck you for gloating and harping on this when this is such a devastating time for these kids. I'm not talking about Mr. and Mrs. Ramaika. No, they put all this on their kids. I don't know the full story. I don't know what, when, why, and how. But shame on you for keep insisting and harping on the hardships or this devastating situation that these kids are facing. Shame on you. So, like I said, how long do you think it's going to be till Katie Joy plays a victim? Because it's not just like Katie Joy does this with this family. Katie Joy does this with all these families that she reports on, whether it be the IBLP, whether it be sister wives, whether it be the Duggars, whether it be whoever. I was sent this screenshot yesterday, and this is how this so-called advocate, self-proclaimed journalist, puts out there. Just a reminder, your kids hate you. Not at all coming to the defense of Cody Brown. But who does this? I'm sure his kids do not hate him. If anybody, one of the Brown kids, can come forward and tell me, you know what, I hate my dad, I'll believe this. But this is not true. Absolutely not true. One of these kids that may have gone to Katie Joy, which I highly doubt, I will even lay my head on a block to say none of the kids ever went to Katie Joy without a crystal ball and told her they hate their dad. This is impossible. And it's also come to my attention, and as I was recording this video, that Katie Joy actually did a Q&A. And when I saw the screenshots of this Q&A, I am very seldom speechless. Katie Joy truly needs to take time out. She really needs to do something, because she herself is going to put herself in a bad mental state. And she cannot blame it on anybody else but herself, because she fails to take accountability. She cannot say to herself or put it out there to say, you know what, I fucked up, I'm sorry. No, because Katie Joy feels that she is superior to everybody else. She needs to look at herself in the mirror. Period. At the end of the day, Katie Joy cannot explain away her bullying towards Lydia and the false accusations she made against this young couple. All she is doing is trying to divert this whole situation, bring up his attendance at the whatever happened on January 6th in Washington, and then she also goes after Gil Bates. I'm saying all of this, it's all bullshit. It's bullshit. Katie Joy is a fraud. She wants to come across as sincere, like she gives a crap about these people. She gives a shit about these people. She's all about herself, period. She's not worried about their well-being. If she was, all this wouldn't be going on. All this, what's playing out on social media, wouldn't be going on. You see, Katie Joy, what people don't understand is that with her, she's always been the same. She hasn't changed a bit. From the research that I have been doing lately, she hasn't changed a bit. Like I said, she just polished herself up. That's all she's done. Now, always remember, people, you cannot unring a bell. Katie Joy is and always been a shitty person. She found YouTube. She found a way to make money. She studied the system. She found out what works for her, what makes money for her, and that is to be controversial, to expose people's downfalls. And where she found what truly works for her was when she released the footage of Amber Portwood, and then she found the Duggars, her meal tickets. That is her bread and butter. The IBLP, sister wives, whatever you want to say, because a lot of people do not agree with their beliefs, with their lifestyle, whatever. It has always and will always be about the money and nothing else, in my opinion. She will do whatever she needs to do, say whatever she needs to say, to put herself on top, to get herself out of hot water, because that's what she's been doing all her life. And that's what's got her to where she is today. So I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out, watching my content, supporting me. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. Please have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Please be safe out there. Be kind to one another, and don't forget, make good memories. Bye guys.